Hello everyone, my name is Rosencrantz and this is Guildenstern and we are very much still alive.
Just kidding, it's Aaron and Ari here. Welcome back to another episode of a podcast where two theatre people who are fairly unqualified in theatreness talk theatre.
Every week I forget. And then you say
Every
it, and I'm
week
like, oh,
I
yeah.
forget as well, and I have a little moment of like, wait, is it very, fairly?
Now we don't
what
know which one
other
is which.
two-syllable word is it? But
Quite.
I'm getting good.
No,
Quite. No, I like fairly.
fairly is nice.
Anyway.
Welcome back.
Welcome back
To
to
the
another,
show.
to another week.
We've been trucking now. We've been keeping this
Yeah,
up, which
I'm
is
not
good.
really sure what we're up to at this point.
One of them, I think it's 5 of the videos, and then 35
yeah, because it
of
says
the
here,
audio. Yes.
5, edit 1.
Thank you.
5.
Good job, past Aaron, for once.
For numbering your things correctly.
Yep.
It would be
Rehearsals are
unfortunate
coming
if you
along well for
Yep.
our show. They're trucking along, which is nice. Keep going.
You've used trucking twice thus
I know.
far.
I'm in a
You're
trucking
in a
mood
roll.
today.
Trucking along.
I'm in a trucking mood.
Let's truck ourselves along to whatever. Okay, I can't
This
use
is
it as
the
a
theme
verb.
of today's episode: is how many times Aaron can put the word "truck" into the sentence.
We'll start a little counter in the top left.
Yeah. No, not doing that.
Enjoy future
No,
Aaron.
I know that there are other edits where I said I wasn't going to do something and then I did something. This is not going to happen. I'm not doing this.
Hey.
I'm sorry. But yeah, so rehearsals are going well.
Yeah, they're trucking along.
We're almost... We've almost finished the show. We have a few more scenes left. And then we've pretty much blocked the whole thing, which is nice.
You.
We were talking about, like, once that is blocked, to start now running it in the space that we're going to be performing in, which is exciting because I think where a lot of our rehearsal in my kitchen isn't the same, like, distance-wise as it would be in the actual space.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see, like, now that we have almost the whole show pretty much moving-wise, we'll see how different or how much we'll have to change moving into the actual space.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, other than that,
Yeah.
not much more to tell you about the show other
Nope.
than we can confirm we are in fact continuing work on it.
Yep.
And we'll keep you posted.
Yeah, so we realized that, especially last week after we kind of pushing for time, we didn't really know what else to talk about in terms of the show. So considering that everything is still just kind of going along with the motions and we haven't hit any major milestones yet, we figured we'd just do a couple episodes or however long it takes for us until we get to a new milestone, just to talk about some other, like, creative type things.
Yeah.
And, you know, semi-related to the show, but more just, like, general creativity-wise to kind of keep us in this idea of, you know, you guys come here to listen to us ramble about the writing process, so there's more to the writing process than just what we're doing. So, yeah, while rehearsals are still trucking along, we'll do some more episodes. And I guess this kind of comes from me a couple of days ago, where I've spoken about this habit that I have had about writing 5 pages a day. And look, I'd be lying if I said I've been able to keep that every single day since the 1st of January. But I mean, on the other hand, which is I think what we're going to talk about today, is there are days where sometimes you get busy, you're too tired to do something, or even just you go to sit down and nothing comes. And so, as opposed to saying or calling it writer's block or, you know, a creative barrier or a wall, I prefer to say it as almost like just a bad creative day. You know, because I think it's a better way to think about it. Because that happens, and it's happened to us a couple of times during rehearsal as well, where, like, we've been trying, but it just we're missing something. And it happens when you start to do things regularly, especially since we're, like, rehearsing every week, that some days it just doesn't come, you know?
How do you deal with that though? Like, how do we go and how, like, as a writer, what do you tell yourself? Because I think so easily you can get into that space of, like, negative self-talk and, like, oh, well, I'm just terrible. You know, just because I'm having a bad creative day, you know,
I'm a terrible writer.
That means that I'm, you know, not worthy, blah, blah, blah. How do you get yourself out of that negative self-talk and just, like, accept that, hey, it's one of those days?
Yeah, I mean, I relate it to any other kind of skill, right? I mean, creativity is a muscle that you can flex, and in the same way that, like, some days when you go to the gym and you're just, like, you can't lift as well as you can, or you can't run as far as you would usually, and it's just, like, some days your body is not willing to cooperate with you, and it isn't a case of, well, now suddenly I'll never go to the gym again because I can't do it, but it's acknowledging that this day is a rare occurrence, and to not make that a habit, which is the other thing as well, which is, like, the fact that I have had creative days where I haven't written as much as 5 pages in a day, but then the day after I go, okay, fine, but I'll do it today. So, you know, to not be like, oh, well, today is also a bad day, and then the day after that's a bad day, but to kind of take time to be like, you know, acknowledging that today wasn't good, but tomorrow I will try to be.
Yeah.
Which is the main thing, and not to get stuck in the habit of not doing things, which is also bad.
I think it's definitely a mindset thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's so hard. Like, I find I can look at a mindset, like, while I'm in a good mindset, it's so easy to tell yourself, oh, next time I'm in a bad mindset, just look at it like this, you know. But as soon as you get into that bad mindset, everything you told yourself in your good mindset is just whoosh, out the window. No matter how many pep talks I give myself in the mirror on a good day, like next time you're in a bad, next time you fall in a rut, it doesn't matter. It's going to be fine. Pick yourself up, blah, 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 just do something that makes you feel good. And then I'm in the bad, the bad space and everything just shuts down and it's like, oh, let's curl up in a corner in the room. And the other day, this is not the other day. This was like a couple of weeks ago, like a while ago now. I wrote, this wasn't even in relation to creative stuff. This is just in like general life stuff. I wrote myself a little sheet of paper, which is like by my bed in my little drawer, that has like, next time you're feeling crap. I don't know what censoring on this channel is. Next time I'm feeling bad.
Family friendly.
Do this. And it just had a list of things that I know that make me feel good. And I've been trying to so next time I'm like just having a bad day and I really don't want to get out of bed, or I'm just not really feeling anything. I'm like reading that and it'll be like, go make yourself a cup of tea, go do a dance workout, go and stretch, go and do some star jumps, just things that I know will immediately pick up my mood. And that actually really works, because what I find is your brain forgets how to function, but you're still able to read. So I can read what past Ari has written down, and past Ari has gone, it's okay, look at these things that you know you enjoy. And I was like, hey, it's a pretty good suggestion. And then you can go and do it, and it makes it actionable. So I wonder if creating a similar thing for like creative stuff, like, okay, you're in a rut. What about this? Go listen to some music. Go play some music. Like, things that are still creative and still flexing those creativity muscles, but may not necessarily be writing a page. Or just journal or something, like, can you still write? Because, like, a stream of consciousness is never going to end. Like, you're always, I believe, everyone is always capable of writing stream of consciousness. A lot of people block out that as a creative avenue because they're like, oh, cringe, it's like journaling, or my brain sometimes says weird stuff. It literally, like, it's not to reread necessarily.
And it's not to show anybody else either. It's just flex,
my stream of consciousness, exactly. My stream of consciousness could literally just be like, oh, the lights are really bright today, and feeling tired, and this shirt's a bit crinkled today, and it's literally just like random stuff. I wonder if there's
like
creating
an emergency
actionable
kit almost. Like, that's important. Well, I think the other thing I was thinking about is, I've been struggling recently to find a new idea for a feature that is something, or a feature film, writing wise, that I can do and make at a small budget. Because I've been writing all these like high concept Star Wars fan fictions and like space epics and westerns and stuff, and I'm like, I can't make that. Like, so if I wanted to think about a feature film that I could make within the next 3 or 4 years, right, what kind of movie would that be? And I'm struggling to find it. And I think back to all the other ideas that I had, and even like the idea for We'll Meet Again that I had while watching another movie, and thought, oh, that would be cool. And the trick is, you could stare at a blank page for ages and never come up with an idea, but the best ideas come from you doing something else and it just coming naturally.
Exactly.
So in that case, on a bad creative day, just do something else. Like, as much as we do love to say that we love what we do, and it's true, like, I love writing more than more than most things that I do, but at the same time, it is work, and it has to be, and it can't be treated as anything less than work, because it still requires me to put in a lot of effort. Sometimes that effort is sometimes some days you have to put more effort than other days, and that's okay. It's just, you have to acknowledge that. So on days like that, you go, well, maybe today isn't the day that I'm going to write this thing. Maybe I'll go listen to music, or go watch something, or even just go outside and do something else with the day.
Literally anything
because
else.
The amount of times that can spark inspiration for anything, and go, oh, now tomorrow I know what I'm going to do, which is what happened. It was like yesterday, a couple of days ago, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to write, and I was thinking, and I was watching like a YouTube video. And like there was like some cowboy in the YouTube video, and I was like, oh, what about that old Western idea that I had? And the day after, I was like, oh, maybe I'll just write a couple pages, since I didn't write anything yesterday, so I'll at least create some groundwork. And then I ended up just writing the 5, and I was like, great, okay, well then I did it. So that it works sometimes. That you just gotta to get your head out of what you're working on, because you can get so caught up in it, and it can be really kind of demanding that it then kind of drains you a little bit. Which is the other bad thing.
I think another thing that's kind of related that just popped up for me is like this notion of maybe like writer's guilt, but not necessarily like, I'm thinking of it from a standpoint of like, I had a friend the other day who was chatting to me and talking about how they're writing a piece of poetry every week.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, oh, you used to write so much poetry last year. What, show me what you've most recently written. I want to see what your, stuff is. And because I was writing like really, really regularly last year, and I haven't written anything at all this year. I've written like one thing. And I was, and suddenly I just had this like a wave of like, oh my God, am I bad? Like, am I not good anymore?
Yeah.
But like the reality is so I went home that day and like sat and opened my little, like I have like a little folder in my computer which has all my poetry, and I opened it up and I was like ready to go, and nothing came. I was like, nah, not inspired. Because the reality is most of my poetry comes from either something happening in my life, or seeing something, or hearing something, or feeling something. And for whatever reason, poetry isn't currently my voice. Last year it was so much my voice, but this year it's just not.
Yeah.
But yeah, feeling so like, oh, I'm not the poet that people like. I'm letting this person down who was expecting me to come out with like this, be able to like present them with this poetry, and I was like, I don't have anything, and they're like, what? I was like, and like, so I don't know. And
I think that's important as well, that like. You don't need to be 100% like in like creative all of the time. I mean, it's good to have habits set up, but sometimes life gets in the way of it, and that's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, it is a guilt thing that we need to kind of get ourselves out of the headspace of feeling bad for not doing things.
And being creative doesn't have to be in hard copy or in writing form, right? Point. Like, I think just because you haven't written a poem this week, or just because you haven't written your 5 pages, doesn't mean in your brain creativity wasn't happening. Like point. Inherently, like I'm in a massive daydreaming phase at the moment, where I'm finding myself daydreaming so much to the point where it's getting really frustrating, to be honest, because and that's my creative outlet at the moment. I'm not writing as much as I used to, or have been, or maybe would have liked to necessarily. But the imagination side of my brain is like, and dealing with all of the life things in that way, which is really therapeutic sometimes.
I had a script a long time ago when I was younger that I mean, it was almost therapeutic. It was like a one big thing that I would write my daydreams into them. So it would be like this weird like fragment of like just different things that I was thinking about during the day. And it was a way for me to just kind of like put it into words. And that was like my way of making that work seem tangible. Even though I never showed it to anyone and I have no intention to. But it was like, that was, my way of how can I turn this into something that's actionable? Which I haven't done in a long time. But it's
super connected
true.
To that thing, like stream of consciousness thing we were talking about before. And like making things actionable that, just to keep your,
Oh, like, thinking about like, well, if I was to write a script about my day today, what would it look like? And like, how long would that be? What can I make? How can I make that interesting and stuff like that? What drama happened in the day? What simple things? Work like that kind of keeps you focused and then can be used. It's almost building up this toolkit. So that later on, when you do need this emergency, I don't know how to do, what happens next? Oh, I remember now I wrote this thing. I found that really recently, because I've been writing so many things at the moment with the 5 pages things. I've been finishing things and then working on other things. And I'll get to a point where I'm like, I'm not sure what I do. Oh, but in the last script, I did this. Maybe this would work here as well, but I'll have to change it around a little bit, and then it works. And I'm like, oh, well, that's good then that I've kind of built these. And I've almost like done practice on 2 scripts beforehand of what this scene would look like. And now when I do it in this scene, it would be a little bit different, a little bit better. And then you just keep going in that.
Improvement,
in that
hey.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah, I think there's so much you can do on those bad creativity days. Equally, it's a free pass to do absolutely nothing. Like there's zero pressure to have to churn anything out. Days where you lie in bed and watch Netflix all day are just as valid and just as good as those that, you sit at the computer for 8 hours and somehow write a full page, full 100-page script. Not that that's something I have ever done or really necessarily ever intend on doing, but if you're out there and you have done that, congrats. That's a full-time job right there.
Okay, I've done my 8-hour video in a day. That's a good fun. It's a fun time.
I remember that. Like, wild.
There are days like that where you can't get to days like that without having days where you don't do anything. You know, because that's the way it works. It's almost like the day after I did that 8-hour stint of filming, editing, refining. The day after, I did literally nothing.
Gone. Yeah.
I just sat on the couch all day, and even if that happened like in reverse, where I sat on the couch all day, and the day after I did everything, it would be the same kind of thing of like, you need to have those. You need to be
balance
able to rest.
Key.
Yeah, absolutely.
Balance is key in life, in creativity, in all of the things.
I would argue that incredibly active day and then incredibly inactive day is probably not balanced, but you know, it's better than doing nothing all
doing
day.
nothing all the time every time, or doing lots and lots all the time every time, and burning
it's
yourself
true.
out before you hit 24.
I mean, that's an important thing. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like,
Burnout.
you'd never
Creative
wanna
burnout. Hey.
because it does exist, and I
Oh,
know
it
like a
does.
lot of people complain about, oh well, you can't have burnout for something that's so fun, and you're like, well, yes, you can.
No,
Like,
very possible.
work is work, regardless of how fun it is, and there are days in which you kind of force yourself, and if you keep these bad creative days and they become more and more common, then you start to burn out because you start to question, really. You know, you start to question everything. Like, why am I doing correctly? Why don't I have the same thing that I did last year? Why can't I write a poem every week? Is it because? And then that's the signs of the beginnings of burnout. And it's almost in moments like that where you have to be able to go, it's all right. You know, like I'm allowed to take a break from this. I can maybe take a step back, stop thinking about it so much.
Yeah, I think that it brings up like a lot of anxiety. Even at the moment, like I've started to notice I need to, and I was just telling you before, like with like filming self-tapes and stuff for auditions, I need to start being more selective about what I'm auditioning for, because I started feeling that anxiety when I was getting, you know, responses back from call-outs that I'd sent, or like applications that I'd sent saying, yep, please send us a video self-tape. And then I'd gone, hang on, what is this for? I hadn't even like really looked at it. I just kind of was really spontaneous at the start of the year, really wanted to make something of this year, and went apply. And now I'm in a state where I'm getting sort of responses saying, hey, can you film a video? Or like, we'd like to see you do something else. Or can you do this? And I'm feeling swamped. Yeah. And I think that's where I need to be careful not to turn into this, like become this burnout where I've just, you know, that's all I'm doing. Because I want to still enjoy it. The last thing I want is this year to be, you know, me learning how to hate the process. Yeah. I need to learn how to love the process. And by doing that is starting, you know, learning how to be like, okay, the best way forward is not saying yes to everything and trying to do everything. It's really going, okay, what do I actually want to invest my time into, and what is my time best used for, like where and spreading that out in all aspects. So
what are the things that you look for? I mean, I guess you personally, but also just like in general, like how do you know when a project is right for you? I mean, and this isn't, of course, it's not like this is the answer for everyone.
This is the answer for everyone. This is how you know.
Yeah, and how you've been, like, how have you been able to
I think that's what I'm trying to work
out.
That's what I'm trying to work out. Like, how do I know if a project is right for me? Like, you know, I'll sort of get sent a scene and stuff, and you've read I'll send them to Aaron and be like, what do you think? Do you think this is me? Is this something, you know, I should do? Yeah. And sometimes I'll go, you know, it's a hard no. But I have only had one thing that I was like, oh no, I could never do that, and that was for like reasons of like, oh, it was a marginalized, like it was a deaf person role, and I was like, I'm not, I don't feel comfortable playing that because I have no experience. I have no one in my family with experience. I felt like it wasn't something I could do or do justice for. And people can have different beliefs about that, and that's just my own personal. At the time when I read the thing, I was like, I don't think I could do the role justice. But beyond that, it's so hard to know sometimes, because I'm like, I don't know what my market is. Yeah. And I think I'm still trying to work that out. I'm like, well, where do I fit? Who am I as an actor? But I think I look at a lot of the things I look at is the writing and the script itself. And at the moment, I've been looking at, when I get sent a segment of the script, it's like, okay, well, how clear is the directorial vision? Can I see what they're trying to do? And do they have a clear? Does it sound like they have a clear vision? You know, do they know where the setting's happening? Can they? But then at the same time, can they take a step back and minimal things to do with the actual how it is being acted? I really struggle with scripts where it's like, she says snidely or through tears, or one tear drips down her left eyeball, kind of thing. I'm like, well, you're not playing it for the emotion, then you're playing it for the visual.
Yeah, you're a puppet to the writer or the director. And you don't get much of a say.
And so I've been kind of looking for ones where I can see that there is a directorial vision presence, so that they know what they're doing. It's not just like, but also, you know, they give the actor some freedom. I had the one that I just showed you this morning, which I'm actually quite excited for, because in the email they sent for the callback, they were very much like, we're not going to tell you any more about your character. We want to see what you bring to it.
Oh wow, that's
and I really like that, because I haven't seen the full script. I've just seen the 2 scenes they've sent as follow-ups, and that's all I've got to work with. And so they're genuinely looking for what the actor brings, rather than, oh, they want it to be said in this way, or whatever. And so I think things like that at the moment are what I'm most interested in, because then I can find my own feet as an actor, and then later on down in the track, I can start, crafting myself for more specific roles or towards a more specific directorial vision. But I think at this early stage, it's just really, really important to, find myself and play myself a bit more or put myself into roles. Because that's when it's most real.
Yeah, I guess it's almost like it's like a feeling, right? Like you know what feels right in your voice and in your reading, and you can read through a script or a synopsis and go, yeah, this works. I think, and I guess the more in which you do
just fun ideas as well.
Yeah, true.
If I like the idea and I'm like, yeah, hey, this is fun, then sign me up. But if it's like
and there's always like that gut feeling of you being like, oh, I don't know if this is right, and typically you're in that like, for whatever reason, like it could be anything, but there are times where you have that like, oh, maybe this project isn't right. And it's always, I mean, I was watching something the other day where David Lynch was talking, who's a director, was talking about like how he kind of chooses ideas because he has so many ideas. And I also struggle with that. But he was like, it's easy because the ideas that end up working are the ones that I love, and the ideas that don't end up working are the ones that I like, Right. Whereas there are no ideas where he doesn't enjoy them, but the ones that he loves are the ones that end up pursuing. So it's not like this idea, there are going to be times where there are bad ones, but even like between all the good ones, there are some that you just gravitate to more, and those are the ones that you'll naturally find yourself more. Like, let's say you had 5 scripts and they were all good scripts, but there was one script that you just like boom. Like, this works for me, this works for my career, this works for what I want to stretch myself as an actor, and then that's an easy choice. Totally. Then. And it's not, so I guess not to think of the choice as a yes, as in like a good or a bad. It's more like a which one just grabs me more. And it's difficult sometimes to find that, and sometimes there are a couple of those, but you'll find, I think more often than not, I find especially that I am able to narrow it down to one. Yeah. Which is useful. Anyway. That's it. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I feel like that kind of tied it up towards an end as it is. For the theatre segment, at least.
Yeah, for the theatre segment. Don't beat yourself up if you have bad creative days.
No.
And look to find work that you love. To summarize, there's the TLDR.
That was a good one.
I've been liking these. I've been like summarizing it and like
little snappy
inspirational quotes.
We need like inspirational quote, like my little
make a little
day,
book. I'll make a little booklet
of all of our episodes, and we can release it as our calendar. RnG merch, our calendar RnG with our calendar. Summarized.
I feel like every week we come up with a new thing we're gonna like,
and we never do it.
Well, not necessarily. We could do that.
That's a plausible one. Yeah. We get some graphic design. Be like, don't beat yourself up over bad creative days. Do stuff you love.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom we can sign it with
it's
RnG.
Like little RnG.
That'd
February.
Be really cute. That would be so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, we can do quote of the month.
We
need to do quote of the month.
We need just 12 quotes. That's easy.
Yeah. Also, are we in February?
No, I just meant like I just picked a date.
I was like,
we're in March. I was just picked a date. I just like thought because I thought it was funny that like bad creative days would be on the days that have the least month of the year. That was my rationale. I wasn't like, we're not in February. It hasn't been February for a while.
No, it has.
Is it February? No, it's just...
Well, I mean, technically we're filming this at the end of February, aren't we?
Because it's a week before.
So it will be March.
It will be March. Oh,
this is now where I get stressed about saying dates, because I'm like...
This is why we don't...
Viewers out there, we're recording a couple of weeks / 1 week, depending on the week.
It's usually 1 week because
in advance.
I just need time to edit, okay? I can't edit within like a few days, so I try to do at least a week in advance.
So that's why occasionally things may be behind.
The time is wrong.
And we talk about February when it's March, if it's March. Unless it's February and you're like, what the heck?
Hang on.
No, it's definitely...
No, this will release in the first week of March.
Yeah, because we're in...
But we're currently in February because it's the last week of February. Yes.
Anyway,
I have to think.
That's all for the theatre segment. If you're on Spotify, pop over to our YouTube if you want to hear more from us. But if not, we'll see you later on Spotify. And
until next time,
we'll meet again.
Smooth, not bad. That's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie with that one.
That's pretty good. That one. I realized I said we'll see you again, and then I was like, oh no, we need to.
No, we'll see you again is the name of the song for the new Fast and Furious movie. We've established this.
Anyway, hello YouTube. How are you going? Nice to see you. It's been
hopefully you've enjoyed some of the newer videos we've been releasing. That's been a bit of fun because we've been like trying not to just do this. We're
Yeah.
trying, you know, branch out through things. So
Yep.
hope you've
I
liked
don't
that.
know how many of those we've put out, but
It depends on how much I've been able to edit. There will be
yeah,
at least
it depends.
one.
Yeah, it depends.
Because
Also,
I
when this
released the one
episode
last
releases.
week. Yes, because
Yes.
yeah.
So there'll be
there is
at least one. So I hope you're enjoying those as well. There will be more to come. We have more ideas. If you have any ideas or random things you want us to
put them in the
do,
comments.
chuck them in the comments.
in the
Pop
comments.
them. Send us a message. Just text us. You probably know us.
Yeah, here's our phone numbers if you want to reach out. Not doing
Because yeah, we're always up for new fun things.
Yeah.
And yeah, all of the
Look for
above.
fun ways to do expansion of creative stuff.
And definitely. Anyway,
Yes.
how's your week, Aaron?
It's been fine. It's been a busy week as always now, but yeah, it's been. I mean, you sent me this thing which I've been thinking about. It was like this like big filmmaking event.
Oh
thing,
yeah.
which is a bit of fun, and I've been thinking about like what I'm gonna do, and in terms of like directing and stuff this year in uni. Of course, I'll be making a short at uni, which would be nice. Which I've also been thinking about because like I'm trying to write more shorts to do, and I'm like, what? Because if I'm gonna write a short for you, then I'm gonna do for uni because like I just easier if I write a short for you, and I'm like, what's your dream? Not dream, but like what is a character that you think you'd like to play that is not like, you know,
Rue.
yeah, I mean just like not a character that is not easily filmed, you know, like a space warrior or like a pirate.
I want to be a robot on the planet Mars who
Okay.
no.
No, I don't know, like what is a role that you think?
I don't know. Everything?
Okay, great. I'll make an.
Well, we
everyone.
can't do action. I would
Yeah.
say action,
Can't
but
do
I have no action
I was thinking about that,
skills.
and I was like, I can't do action.
So it would have to be something. I think drama,
Yeah.
obviously. Yeah, I don't know, something
A
that.
drama character.
No, oh my
Great.
god, you know what I mean? Like, I think something where I can showcase. I would have fun just showcasing. I don't know. Now I'm having doubts.
Okay, fine. Forget it.
All I can
Think
see in
about
my
it.
head is Rue right now because
Yeah,
we
I'll-
just watched an episode of Euphoria before this, so
Yes,
I've
we
got
did.
Rue on the brain.
Okay, I'll write you for it.
Just write me a role like that Zendaya would play. Thanks. That's
Okay,
all.
great. Easy.
And then cast me instead of Zendaya, the obviously preferable choice
Yes.
because it's a student film and it's
I'm
unfair.
gonna get Zendaya to come and be in my film for university. Look, if I had that choice, that would be a tough. Well, I mean, like, I feel like I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't.
Take
I feel like you
Zendaya and I
shouldn't
will
be-
production manage just
Yeah,
so I
you
can
just
hang
show
out.
up. You can come.
I'll be like, hi, I'm an extra. I'll be in the background, but not in the actual shot. I'll be watching. I'll provide the cucumber sandwiches.
You can be. What's the
I'll be
word?
catering.
Yeah, but there's a word for it in the film industry. It's
Catering.
called, no, it's not called catering. It's called
Catering.
craft services. That's what
Catering.
it's called.
I want to be
It's
catering.
You want to be
I
catering?
want to make cucumber sandwiches for Zendaya.
I'll write you a role where you get to play a caterer in a Zendaya movie.
Done. I'll be like, hi. Hi.
No, that's funny.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, you can't do action. I mean, you can do Ariel Silks.
Yeah, I've been doing Ariel Silks. All you viewers out there, my latest.
Sorry, I didn't mean to dox your Ariel
That's
Silking, but I
okay.
figured we
That's
could
my
talk about Ariel Silks.
beginner
That's
Ariel
cool.
Silks, mind you. I have mastered very sparing amounts of aerial tricks. My personal favorite is called Candy Cane. Was the first one I learned. It's called the Candy Cane.
Yeah.
And you just kind of look like a candy cane because you have one knee
Seems to
pointed
be
and the
very
other one
literal.
straight. You can probably imagine it just looks like me, but a candy cane and on silks in the air. I would say we'd insert a photo, but we're not going to do that because I don't look coordinated enough. So when I look
Well,
really
in my
cool
head,
and
I
coordinated,
just see a candy cane with a little bit of your head on top. I can do that.
You can put a candy
That
cane
I
with my
can
head
do. That won't take me 5
and
minutes.
then Google candy cane Ariel Silks and put that next to it. And
Oh,
that what it,
okay.
look,
Yeah,
what it
it's the
should actually
same.
look
There
like.
you go. It's the same
I'm
thing.
clearly the same. Yeah. So that's been really fun.
Well, do you think that it would be useful in terms of an action thing?
I don't know about an action thing, unless I'm gonna kung fu karate kick some
I mean, I don't
person
know.
as I'm pirouetting down the silks. Not that I can do that yet. I can go up them and I can slowly come down them. And that's
Ariel Silk fight scene though, like that would be cool.
But I don't know how much. Like, I mean, I can literally.
Oh, I just mean like not me, not even you, but like just in general. Like imagine watching an Ariel.
But you
Silk
can
fight
only
scene.
fight in a Y plane.
Okay, true.
There's no
point.
X.
It's like
it's just up and down. It's like ooh, pew, pew, pew,
It could
pew,
be like
pew.
on an elevator.
I mean, unless you swing a little bit, but you can't really swing
Oh,
on
yeah,
those
I feel
things.
that's
You can
dangerous.
spin, but yeah, it'll be a very much Y plane fight scene. Which means the two silks would have to be like this, or you have like some artificial gravity where you've got one going this way, and it's like the people running down this way and the people running. I'm glad this is a video because
Yes, that's useful.
Ariel Silk fighting like this with one silk's going this way and one silk's going this way.
It's like it's like in space.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on. The silks don't work in space.
In space, the
silks is no gravity, so that you don't fall in this. You're just like getting.
I'd be
wrapped up
really
in
good at
silks.
the silks in space because my current weakness is how much strength you actually need to hang on to those things.
Yeah, you don't need strength in
You wouldn't
space.
need that in space.
Yeah, what else? How was your week been? You done anything
that's
else?
been. I mean that. Yeah. Other than that, nothing's really going on in my life
Nothing's
more than sending in auditions and doing things and just kind of chilling out a bit, looking
Yeah.
at what else I want to do with my life.
Oh yeah.
So I don't really have anything to add, to
still
be
in the
honest. I didn't really think
transitional
about.
state.
I didn't really think about what I could say. For
I know,
my
because
week.
every week you ask me how my
I
week's
ask you
been, and I go on
first.
a rant,
Sorry,
and
and I just
feel-
assume that I assume
Yeah.
generally that Aaron's rant will prompt something for me.
That's true.
And most of the time it does, but today your
Well,
rant consists. What did you even say?
I didn't say
really
anything.
I didn't
just
listen.
said I've been doing work and I've been busy.
Oh,
But
bugger.
I was
Me
gonna,
too.
I was gonna film a video essay the other day, and I was gonna set up my green screen and do it properly, and then I didn't because the effort of putting up my green screen
Was
and
too
setting
much.
everything up was too much, and I was like, do I just because I've been wanting to make a video essay for a while about a specific topic that I'm not going to spoil because the video essay will come out at some point, but I've been thinking about like, do I just do it without the green screen and just like get a bunch of footage together and talk over it? It'd be much easier for me to do because I don't have to worry about like the production of it. But then I was thinking about like, oh, well, what I don't want it to look as good as it can, because I do want that, and it also now here we go. This is what we need.
Spinning.
But I've been talking to my cousin.
Sit back and relax.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
On my other YouTube channel, which is linked in the links where I play video games, with some of my friends. One of them was recording for a bit, but his recording wasn't really good because his computer couldn't handle it. And so he just stopped recording. And he's kept playing with us, and it's all been fun in the Minecraft server that we play in. I'm not going to explain what I'm not going to just take 15 minutes to explain what a Minecraft server is and what happens.
A Minecraft server is a server on Minecraft where you meet with friends.
No, I'm looking at you. The audience knows what I'm talking about, probably. I'm just looking.
I'm right, right?
Yeah, you're right. That's pretty much it. But
I know stuff.
so we were all making
Kill
content
those
about
creepers.
it. But he stopped. Yeah, there you go. I put my Minecraft socks on.
Oh my god, I
Shout
love
out
it.
to my Minecraft socks. We're thematic today.
Very, I love
but,
it. Kind of Christmassy with the green and red.
I know, the green and red, because it's got TNT on them. And they have creepers on the ankles.
Kill the creepers.
Yeah, well, don't kill my ankles, please. I need those. I feel like I kill my ankles regularly whenever I do something. But he stopped making videos, which is fair. Like, I totally get it. But the reason why was because his videos weren't getting to to the level of professionalism that he was wanting.
Right.
And like that's a totally reasonable decision to make.
Very valid.
But at the same time, he hasn't made anything since. And I was like, well, I was thinking about it. And I'm like, well, how can you get around that, right? Like, because you can't, if you're just waiting to get to the point of professionalism that you're happy with, you just won't make stuff. And that's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But as a person, especially this year, who's been trying to push themselves to be more creative more regularly, how can you like continue that without the worry of professionalism, which is hard. So yeah, I've been thinking a lot about that and like trying not to dream, or not to dream, but like to think of ideas for a level of professionalism that I know I won't be able to reach at this quality, and to also drop some stuff down to make it easier for myself to do, because otherwise I go, well, yeah, if the next thing I'm going to make is my Star Wars movie, that's not going to happen for probably ever. So,
no,
yeah.
don't say that. Never say never.
There you go, Justin Bieber. Shout out to Justin. No.
No.
We're not shouting out Justin Bieber.
Sorry, Biebs.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought, and I'm not really sure where I stand on it, because you know, I don't disagree with his decision to stop making stuff, but I also like when I encourage him to keep making stuff.
Do more, just do it less. Wait,
yeah,
no.
put that on the calendar.
Do more, do less. Do less, do more. You know what I mean.
Do more, but also don't do
less.
more.
No, do more, but do it less. Wait,
what?
I'm trying to say do less with what you do more. Like, you know how, you know.
Yeah, do more, but do less. I'm trying to think of another way to phrase it. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, you should do more things, but you should do less with those more things. So it's like, you know, instead of doing one big thing, do a lot of small things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do more, less.
Do more, but do less.
Do more, comma, less.
Do more, less. Yeah. Do more,
do
comma,
more,
less.
less.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I follow. That makes sense to me.
If you're out there and an English grammar Nazi, then we apologize if that's not the proper use of a comma there. Am I going to get demonetized
because you used the term Nazi? I guess we'll see.
Nazi is a historical term.
True.
Historical term. Why would you get demonetized for that?
Because
you get demonetized if we use Justin Bieber's "Never Say Never."
That's true. You were so on pitch that I'm gonna get a copyright strike from Justin Bieber being like, "You played a portion of my song in your video
because I'm pitch
because
perfect.
it's that good. It's that pitch perfect."
I kind of want to know if that was the right.
You're gonna look up "Never Say Never" to see if you were in the right key.
I don't think I was.
Well, you can check.
I want to. I think it was higher.
Okay.
I don't know.
What note is this?
I don't know.
Something play Never Say Never.
Never say never. Maybe it's that high.
I don't think it's that.
I reckon it is. Oh, we're gonna get demonetized.
No, we won't. It's fine. It's okay as long as we talk over it. So I'm just gonna talk over it while we listen to Never Say Never on Spotify, because otherwise I'm gonna get. Never, 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 never say never.
Was that what I did? We have to now, now reverse to find out. And now
you know what? Let's just say yes. You were perfect.
I was right.
Absolutely perfect. Because I also lost the thing that I knew I was going to be doing.
Your one job was to hold on to my note that I couldn't remember.
And I couldn't do it.
Anyway, sorry about that. That was definitely a detour, but you were all along for the ride, and that's what's important.
Yeah.
If you're out there and you have perfect pitch and you were like, that was wrong, then I'm sorry.
Yeah. Speaking of Nazis, I saw the other day that.
You saw a Nazi?
No, I didn't see a Nazi the other day. I don't hang out with those kind of people. I'm not a fan. You can quote me on that. Don't like the Nazis. That's a John Mulaney
the March
bit.
Quote.
March quote. Don't like Nazis.
Last month we had, don't feel bad or something.
Don't feel bad. Do what you can.
Do what you love.
March.
And now we have
don't like
Nazis. Full stop.
Yep, that's easy. But a bunch of books are being banned in America. This is old news now. But
burning books, hey?
They weren't burning. They're banning.
Good.
They banned them.
Banning the books.
They're banning the books. But
why? What books? I haven't seen
bunch
this.
Of books,
am I bad?
A bunch of books about like things that are happening. And I don't like things that are banned in general. I'm against banning things. Because I don't like things being removed from availability. But the reason why I just remembered it now was because I've been one of the books. What?
In my head, I don't like things banning, and for some reason, I shouldn't be voicing this because everyone's gonna judge me. I was in my head, I was like, "Oh, but do you like banjos?" And then I was like, "Wow, I have such bad humor." But then I was laughing at my bad joke, but didn't even voice it, so I was just silently laughing at myself. Which is worse.
For a second, I was like, banjo? Oh! I do like banjos, though.
But also banjo.
As in, Joe. Whoa, jeez, now we got so much to talk about now.
But
the reason why I just thought about it was because one of the books that was banned was this book called Mouse, which is one of my favorite books. It's a comic. It's written by this guy called Art Spiegelman, who's a very famous illustrator and comic writer who basically I've noticed, by the way, that I do this a lot. I just do move my hand above my head. It's like a weird, just natural stance, and then I'm like, it's like Phantom of the Opera. Because I've been editing the podcast, and I'm like, What's going on with his hand? And I'm like, well, can he stop doing that? Because I don't know why. Anyway, that's a tangent. We're all over the place
This is
today.
why I don't watch the
time
video
codes
back.
of this episode. I am so sorry, but
Are you gonna put them in?
yeah, I'm gonna have to because I like putting the time
Can I
codes
please have
in.
a 10-second segment of just the banjo?
The banjo, but like, it's gonna spoil it. It can't spoil the banjo. So, one of the books called Mouse. Great comic book.
Just entitle it Ari's Bad Pun.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. I'll do that. Then I won't spoil it. And it's about Nazi Germany. And he draws, because his father was a Jew during the Holocaust. And so he draws the Jewish people as mice, the Nazis as cats, the Americans as dogs, and the Polish as pigs. And it's this really incredible, like, kind of realistic depiction of his father's journey through the Holocaust. Of course, while still being under the guise of comic and also the fact that everyone's an animal. But it's a really, really fantastic book, but it was banned because of nudity and profanity, which is, I mean, I feel like if you're going to ban a book about the Holocaust, the profanity and the nudity are like the least of the things that are confronting in that book.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I just thought it was interesting. But good book, recommended. And the reason why I thought it was funny was that the day after it was announced it was banned, it topped the Amazon bestseller list because everyone was like, this book is banned, I'm going to buy it. And I was recommending it to a bunch of friends, and I just gave a friend a copy a couple of days ago, which is why I remembered about this. And like, I recommended it to people, and I was like, and the way I would recommend it would be like, it just got banned in America, and they're like, oh, now I definitely want to read it. And I was like, great, if it gets people to read
free
a good book, yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure Art Spiegelman's like,
so
great.
What you're saying is we should get our podcast banned in America so everyone wants to listen to it?
Yes. Well, I feel like this episode we're talking about Nazis. It could be actually, well. But I'd recommend reading it. I think I recommend everyone read it. It's a very good book. And if the premise of the fact that it was banned in America isn't enough to make you want to read it, it's also just a really good book. So it's a comic as well. If you don't like, long bits of texts because it makes you be like, ew, long bits of text. I get that,
Oh no, long bits of text.
But like the comic books, they're fun. Comics are cool.
Yeah, I support that.
So yeah.
Anyway, what else? Anything else that we feel the need to... I feel like there's been a lot of tangents in this episode.
Yeah, we've been all over the place today. We did watch Euphoria, which is
Yeah.
only episode 2 though,
I think
because
we're
like
we're
we're
being
spending
really
so much time doing
bad
other things
on
that we just haven't had time
watching
to
it.
watch the actual show.
But in saying that, we might save our comments
Yeah,
for
we'll
Euphoria
do
till the very
a
end.
full season.
Otherwise, you're just going to get a
discussion.
scene by scene.
Episode
Thinking
by
about
episode.
theatre, an episode by episode play of what our opinions
Yeah,
were,
and
I
it'll
feel
also
like
be,
I
like,
want to hang on
fragmented.
to all of my little opinions till very, very end.
Yeah, so we can make sure that everything's right. I mean, will it be? No. And then last episode comes out in 2 weeks from when we're recording this, which is 1 week probably from when it's releasing. So,
I can't.
but either way, we haven't watched more
finished
than
it.
2 anyway because we haven't had
We've
time
got a
to.
little while to go.
Yes.
Anyway, other than that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure what else we'll do today. We'll just call it. I feel like it's been long enough. Thank you for coming and hanging with us.
Thanks for being on this ride with us. Thanks for putting up with my bad puns and watching me laugh at myself without giving anyone else context about what I was laughing about.
Yeah.
That shows the
Okay.
mindset that we're both in.
What's the worst joke you've ever heard?
No, I can't say that one. That's not good. That's politically incorrect.
Oh, okay. No. I don't mean like bad in that sense. We're not going to repeat anything that is actually bad. But I mean like... I like bad jokes, Like, I feel like there's a funness to bad jokes.
That thing that I showed you, that stand-up comedian.
Oh, no.
Oh, what was
actually, that
joke?
might be the worst thing
I think that might
heard.
have been the worst thing I ever heard.
Jeez, past Aaron. Now, I wasn't intending for this to actually go into this element, but I figured I'd give a little bit of a content warning. The jokes that we do talk about reference suicide and pedophilia, despite me not actually thinking we'd go into these ideas, but that's fine. If that's not your vibe, skip to the next time code, just giving you a heads up. They are bad jokes. You're not really missing anything. Alright, back to the video. That's bad, but also there's another one. I think I told you about this, of this show. This is a Japanese show called Terrace House, which is like, it's a reality TV show where a bunch of people just live in a house, but it's not, there's no drama. It's literally just following themselves.
Oh, I think you did tell me
Great show. But yeah, one of the guys is trying to become a stand-up comedian, and the jokes that he gives is so bad. Like, he'll go up on stage and he'll be like, man, why are all these salarymen killing themselves? And you're like, because like, it's a big problem in Japan for like people who work very hard, and then it's a very, very kind of segregated culture because, like, people don't hang out a lot in Japan, and everyone's focused on their work, and so there's a very high suicide rate. But that's not how you frame a stand-up comedy bit.
Yeah, well, like that, the opening of that dude that was like, oh, stand-up comedy in a park. I haven't been allowed within 500 feet of a park for the last 5 years or something. And I was just like, not funny. And there's just that awkward, like, of the audience as they, like, realize what it's actually implying. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough bad jokes. We don't want to end on a low. We want to end on a high.
One of the... I once told a joke to a friend of mine, which I basically was just repeating a joke I'd heard from a stand-up comedy act.
Right.
And it was like a story. And I wasn't even like telling the joke as if I was delivering the joke, but I was telling him like the premise of the joke, and he just like wouldn't stop laughing. He was like just like on the floor, like holding his stomach barrel, and I was like, "Oh yeah," and then he'd say this, and the guy was like, "No way," and we thought it was so funny. And then and then at some point, you realize when you're explaining a joke that you just kind of have to show it to people because like. You can't like you can't really get the same feel. So I put it up on my phone and I showed it to him, and he sat there and he was like, and I was like, he's like, I don't know. When you said it, it was better. Funnier. But I was like, I didn't even say the joke. He's like, yeah, I don't know. It's something about it was funny before. No, it's not.
Well, there you go.
And I was like, well, I guess you just, you
become desensitized
the joke
to the joke
because I told him it already, and then I showed him the joke, and he was like, well, I get it now.
Yeah.
You've told me what it is. So. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Anyway, I think that's an end. We've tried to end this a few times.
You've been trying to end this. I've been trying to push for time.
What do you want? Why?
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I don't want to keep cutting these short because gotta give the YouTube people what they want, which is more of us.
Do the YouTube people want that?
No, I feel like at this point now I can't do anything.
I think
we've hit a good point now where
once there's no pressure. Hey, shout out back to the
true
segment.
Yeah, it's true.
There is no pressure to hit any kind of time things. It doesn't have to be an hour long.
No, it's not going to be an hour long.
It'll be 45 minutes.
Yeah, probably about 45 minutes.
45 minutes is a very decent sized podcast, in my personal opinion. I personally cannot listen to podcasts longer than 20 minutes.
Yeah, great. Thanks for that.
I literally can't.
Yeah, but what do we do?
I know. Well, that's why I like our Spotify ones. They're nice and short and quick and snappy, and then I'll watch the video part second half.
Yeah, that's true.
I break my podcast into little chunks, otherwise my brain is like, okay, done.
Yeah, we can do it. We should do it in acts. That's one of the best things.
Act 1.
No, but they do.
Act 2.
I listen to... That's a snap. I listen to This American Life, which is a very good podcast you should listen to. But they do like 3 or 4
Aaron
acts.
is determined to push this to an hour.
I'm just talking about things.
Go.
But they do it in 3 separate acts, so it's like they do different stories.
Oh,
and
I like
the stories
that.
are broken up into different acts. So it's like the episode
we have ad
is
breaks
about
in
a
between.
specific theme. Yeah, you're assuming that we can make enough to do ads. Some sponsor's gonna watch this episode and be like, "What? I'm not giving money to these people.
Please give us money."
Yeah, well, that's it. I'm done. You finish it.
Thanks for listening, and thanks for coming on the ride with us. I think I've repeated this about 3 times. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Oh, one more thing on that.
Shenanigans. We look forward to seeing you next week on whatever shenanigans we do. We might be uploading another fun video sometime this week.
I don't know.
I don't know. In the future.
You know what?
There are a few in the bank. They'll come out when they come out.
Yes. I'm editing one at the moment. I don't know when it will come out.
Just stay tuned. If you don't follow us on Instagram, head to our Instagram, rng.r.alive. And yeah, we're out there on all the platforms.
We out here.
We out here.
Yeah, doing things.
Thanks heaps for your support, as always.
We have a link tree.
Aaron's very excited about the link tree.
The link tree was cool, okay? Because I don't know how many YouTubers or things you look at, or like influencers, but everyone always has a link tree, right?
Yeah.
And their link tree has links to everything, and of course,
I tried to make myself a link tree, and I didn't know how to do it.
But when I made the link tree ages ago, I just kept it was like the first time I made a YouTube channel when I was 16, and I was like, look at how professional I am, with a link tree.
Yeah.
So you know what? I think the link tree is cool. And
it is. Head over to our link tree, which you can find in the bio of our Instagram, rng.r.alive. If you enjoyed this episode, please. I put them in the description. Oh, awkward. Maybe if you enjoyed, it's in the bio. I said not.
Of the Instagram. Yeah. If
you enjoyed this episode, please hit the thumbs up.
Yes.
If you enjoy us, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we post a new video.
Yes,
Hey, didn't that sound
when the
legit?
next one comes
I
out.
realize we haven't really been ending these properly.
Yeah.
But yeah, because support us and we'll support you.
And if you have any suggestions and want to talk about things, do it in the comments, because we read the comments.
This is true.
Because there aren't that many of them, so we want to be able to reach out with you guys and chat with you.
And
guys
if you
want
to come and join us on an episode, and
No.
you have something to talk about,
no. That's not what I meant. You can reply to comments on
no,
YouTube.
but they can come and join us in an episode. Okay, fine. Don't come and join us in an episode. That's cool. We won't pull up a third beanbag or anything.
I don't think we have
third
space
beanbag.
for a third beanbag. We're gonna have to rethink this setup.
Put yourself here.
Yeah, there you go. This could be you. All you need to do is comment on the video.
No, not if you comment. I mean, if you feel like you can aid our project, come chat to us.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
Not comment on the video and we'll put you in a video. Those things. Do not worry.
What?
If
I
you
thought we were
comment
talking
on
about comments.
No, we would scratch all of that.
Anyway.
Just ignore him. Ignore me as well while you're at it.
Ignore us. That's what we should be telling our audience.
Don't hit that notification bell. Just ignore us.
No, but put the notification on so that you can find out when the next video is coming out, because it'll come out soon. So if you want to know exactly when, the bell is the best way to do that.
Ding
So
dong.
it'll be ding ding. Hey, go, new video from us.
Anyway, thanks heaps for listening. We'll see you later, and we'll definitely be. I realized.
I thought you were gonna do the outro.
I panicked. I didn't know what the outro was. Anyway, we'll catch you later.
Alligator.